Hi everyone, happy Thursday. We're going to finish up the week here talking about multi-step equations yet. We're going to spend 2 days on this to make sure that we hopefully really have a good handle on it. I do really hope you guys that if you're stuck on anything, you are either hopping on a Zoom call with me or you're emailing me, you're setting up a time to meet with me so that we can figure out how to do this. So we're going to keep plugging along. We're just going to add one more step today. So on Tuesday, we did multi-step where you just had to combine. We're going to add one more thing. Hopefully you used your time yesterday to get caught up on a bunch of your classwork. So here we go, day 2 of multi-step equations. Okay, so now today, we're going to add one more step. And that step is to use the distributive property first. Okay, so we always will start with the distributive property and then combine like terms and then finally solve it. So really not that hard because it follows that very sequential pattern. Okay, so let's do 2 examples. I'm just going to do 2 because you can stop and rewind and listen to the video again if you need to. So I don't think I need to do 4 or 5 examples. 2 is probably enough. Okay, so I left a little checklist here, and I think this is really helpful as I do the problems to make sure that you're doing these things in the right order. So the first thing, I didn't put this on the checklist, but the first thing you should always do is draw your line down the middle. And then it says to use the distributive property. Now remember, when we distribute, it's the number that's right in front of the parentheses, including any minus or plus sign there. So this is a -5 that we're going to distribute to both items. And when you distribute, you multiply. So -5 times 3x is -15x. And then -5 times +6 is -30. Okay, so we've used the distributive property. Then it says to combine any like terms. Now in this case, I don't see any. So there's nothing to combine. I can skip that step. I'm going to put the equals -120 on the other side, and then we're going to solve it. Okay, when we solve this, remember, we're going to circle the variable and its best friend. I want to keep that together as long as possible. We're going to get rid of this -30. And the way to get rid of a -30 is with a +30. So we put +30 on both sides. Okay. And then what we have left is -90 equals -15x. Okay. Our last step is to solve the rest of this. And we divide by -15. Divide by -15. So we have x equals, okay, we have to do -90 divided by -15. So 90 divided by 15 is 6. And since it's a negative divided by a negative, it's positive. So we end up with our answer of x equals 6. Okay, so I've solved the remaining equation and I'm done. Okay, now I am going to put an answer check on Canvas again so you know if you're doing your problems correctly or not. Okay, so example 2, and this will be where we end for the day. I won't do any more than this. We're going to draw a line by the equal sign because we always do that first. Okay, and then it says to use the distributive property. Okay, now what are we distributing in this case? Remember, I said you only distribute what's right in front of the parentheses, including the +8. Okay, so include that plus sign. So we're going to distribute that. Okay, so we have 8x. That just stays there. +8 times -6x is going to be plus -48x. And then 8 times negative, this is a -1, be really careful there, is going to be plus -8. Okay, so we've used the distributive property. Now we're going to combine like terms. 8x, okay, I'll put this in different colors here. 8x plus negative 48x is negative 40x plus negative 8 equals 232. So we are done with that step of combining like terms. And then finally, we're going to solve the remaining equation. So I have to keep the variable and its best friend together, right? We want to keep those two things together as long as possible. Get rid of the negative 8. So we put a plus 8 on each side. And so we have negative 40x equals 240. Now get the variable by itself by dividing by negative 40. And we have x equals negative 6. Again, your answers should all be really nice whole numbers. If you're not getting a nice number, you did something wrong. Okay, so that should have given you two nice examples to look at. Remember, as you're doing your homework, the process is the same. So use this video. Come back to these examples to look at. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Do your very best. Have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow.